Gang bust tonight. 5 accused members are off the streets. The district attorney's office says the group was behind several shootings over the past 2 years.
While developing this noon, the son of a Philadelphia rapper, Gillie was killed last night, and only 2 others were also hit. They survived.
And 4 suspects charged in connection with multiple shootings, all tied to a local gang. Those shootings dating back to 2021.
Right now, a triple shooting and only kills 1 person and sends 2 other people to the hospital.
Philadelphia police have released surveillance video of a triple shooting last Wednesday in hopes of finding the 2 gunmen.
There's been a lot of love and support out here today. Many people sharing stories about Devin Spady, also known as YNG Cheese, saying how he was a talented rapper and was really making a name for himself in the Philly music scene.
Philadelphia, the city known as Philly by many, is known for its history, culture, food, and arts. Unbeknownst to many, Philly is the country's first World Heritage City. Philadelphia is also the birthplace of the United States, where America's founding fathers met, discussed, debated, and formed the country. Philly is also home of the Liberty Bell, which is situated at Independence Hall. With immigrants from the Middle East, the Horn of Africa, West Africa, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India, Islam has had a huge presence in Philadelphia. The largest concentrations of Muslims live in the northeast and north parts of the city, Center City, West Philadelphia, and spiraling into the nearby suburbs. It's no secret that the African-American Muslim community in Philadelphia has grown tremendously over the last decade and is often seen as a cultural hub for African-American Muslims across the country, with majority of the black Muslim community practicing the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Warith Deen Muhammad. According to several statistics, Philadelphia has surpassed Detroit and New York City to become the American metropolitan area with the highest populations of Muslims. With all of the culture, heritage, and religion, one would think that Philly was devoid of gangs, guns, and violence, right? Wrong. In 1969, the New York Times called Philadelphia the gang capital of the United States. In 1970, Philadelphia had over 50 juvenile gangs, and many homicide victims were young people and innocent bystanders. In 2020, Philadelphia had 499 homicides, which was nearly 150 more than the previous year.
The murder rate was extremely high in Philadelphia in 2020. The number of homicides is on track to break a grim record by New Year's Eve. Alicia Reed is taking a closer look, and she joins us now from outside police headquarters tonight. Alicia?
Good evening, Yuki. Homicides are up 40% from last year, and we're close to breaking the record of 500 that was set back in 1990. Illegal guns continue to wreak havoc on the streets of Philadelphia.
It's never right to bury your children, but this is the reality for too many families.
More than 2,000 people were shot in the city this year. An alarming number of them were women and children. The majority, however, were young black men and boys.
We've been doing this for 17 years, and this year has been one of the worst years.
Mothers in charge continue to work with families affected by gun violence.
It's not healthy right now. It's not healthy for any of us. So how do we get folks involved that can make a difference to make this a better city? That's who we need to reach out to now.
As families learn to navigate a world they never imagined, Michelle Kerr-Spry says there needs to be an effort from all fronts.
Programs to address their hurt, anger, and sense of not feeling safe.
Mayor Jim Kenney says no one should live that way. In a statement, he says, "We're determined to save lives and create peace. We will turn the page on this dark chapter in the history of our city, and we will write the new book together. I vow to be with Philadelphians every step of the way as we take on this challenge."
In 2021, Philadelphia had 562 homicides. The alarming rise in homicides in Philadelphia, particularly fueled by deadly gang violence, had taken the city by storm.
Breaking news overnight now. Philadelphia police are investigating a deadly shooting in Northeast Philadelphia. Eyewitness News at A Street and East Indiana Avenue in Kensington just after 2:30 this morning. Police say a 29-year-old man was found dead there after being shot in the back. This marks the 560th homicide of 2021. No word yet on a suspect in this shooting.
With no end seeming to be in sight, Philadelphia District Attorney's Office has charged multiple in connection with gang-related shootings that have claimed not only the lives of their ops, but the lives of others as well.
Major gang bust tonight. 5 accused members are off the streets. The district attorney's office says the group was behind several shootings over the past 2 years. Madeline Wright is live right now at police headquarters with the search for 3 additional suspects. Madeline?
Good evening, Jessica. The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office says that a small number of people is responsible for a large amount of violence here in the city, and now some of those accused gang members are behind bars.
This repeat gang violence is attributed to ongoing feud between different gangs, with social media serving as a platform for bragging and retaliation, which brings us to our story. Aspiring rapper and son of Gillie the Kid, Devin Spady of Philadelphia, was following the path of his father. Even as a toddler, Devin loved rap music and would challenge adults to participate in impromptu rap battles with him. It's pretty safe to say that Devin had big plans for his life. Devin dreamed of being a big star on the hip-hop scene. It was in his blood, considering he's the son of Philly's own Gillie the Kid, a once popular hip-hop artist, entertainment mogul, and podcaster who got his start as a member of the rap group Major Figures. Devin had been part of the rap duo Mac and Cheese. Sadly, his life had barely started when he was killed, leaving behind a 2-year-old son named Chase, a fiance, and numerous relatives who keep asking themselves, how could something like this happen?
What do I say to a friend that just lost his son, and he's a great father?
This one hit home for well-known Philly producer Wiz Gam. He's close friends with Gillie the Kid and Unc to Young G's, who was murdered last night in Albany. While showing us some of his last text messages with his nephew, he realized he won't get another one again.
That's why I would get those random texts from him of him saying, Unc, I'm gonna get with you. I need you to hear this music. And that's what we discussed, because that was something he loved.
Music not only connecting Cheese to his uncle, but also his father, Nasir Fard, better known as Gillie the Kid, a popular figure in Philly's hip-hop scene.
His sons, like, since they were coming to the studio in Batcave, running around, we would play with them and wrestle and run around. So I seen them as children to grow into men, and then to have their own children.
Gillie was definitely tapped into his family, and how he dealt with his children is incredible, and I'm very proud of him for that.
Devin Spady, who goes by his stage name Young Cheese, was in a rap group with his brother Mac, making them Mac and Cheese. Community activist Talia Taylor says the hip-hop culture is partially to blame for this violence.
Even with the rap murders, as beef going back and forth. But that's the way the wave is. That's where our culture, the hip-hop culture is now. It's not real hip-hop. It's not real hip. It's just a whole murder scene.
We got to be more accountable. We got to have accountability. We have to be accountable to and step up and teach our young men that what we learned is wrong.
Gillie's father also co-hosts podcast $1 Million Worth of Game with motivator Wallow, trying to teach young people to stay out of the streets.
The world we came from it's a lie. It's no way out of it if you stay in it. So the game that they're giving these kids and these young boys is very valuable because they have lived it. We're going to lose a whole generation if this keeps happening. We're going to lose a whole generation of black men.
And while he knows his friend is hurting and will be for some time.
Of course, the how is Philadelphia's unrelenting gun violence, which had killed more than 300 people that year before Devin's murder. As Devin's story showed, neither his fame nor his father's reputation could save him from the mean, grimy streets of Philadelphia. According to the video from the scene, a group of men had been engaged in a conversation on the corner of West Nedrow Avenue and North Asher Street on July the 20th of 2023 when gunshots rang out. It remains unclear whether shots were fired by someone in the gang or by a shooter from further down the block. 2 other men were also shot that same day, one in the hip and another in the leg. Evan, who lived in an apartment building in Philly next to his mother, was the only fatality. Tragedy had sadly struck the city when the triple shooting that claimed the life of YNG Cheese occurred. A $20,000 reward was offered for information regarding Devin's murder. Unfortunately, there will never be an arrest made.
We've now learned a rap artist was killed in a triple shooting in Philadelphia's Olney section. It happened at Masher Street and Nedrow Avenue at 8:30 last night. 25-year-old Devin Spady, also known as rap artist Young Cheese, was shot in the back and died at the hospital. Spady is the son of rapper Gillie to King. 2 others were wounded. Those were both men. They're in stable condition. Police found a Mercedes with its engine running about a block away. They're now holding it as evidence. As of yet, no arrests have been made.
Founded in 1989, when the Samuel S. Fields Junior High School was restructured to have 7th through 10th grades, with the 11th and 12th grades to be added in 1990 and 1991. Samuel S. Fields High School will become commonly known as Fields High School, a district-run school in Philadelphia. The school is named after Samuel Simon Fields. Melvin K. McMaster was the first principal of the high school. An $80 million building would replace the old facility in 2009. Born in 2008, Noah Scurry would grow a love for sports, more in particular basketball. In his adolescent years, Noah would attend Fields High School, where he would be a standout student and star basketball player. In a letter sent home to the school's families, Noah's principal would state that Noah had recently scored the highest on the SAT college placement test in the school community. In fact, Noah was a top prospect that was being scouted by the NCAA. It would 100% seem as if Noah was headed down the right path. Correct? Wrong. Underneath Noah's superstar ball player and standout student persona would lie something deeper, darker, and sinister. Under the cover of darkness, Noah was deeply involved in Philadelphia's gang culture, which would ultimately lead to him being shot in May of 2023.
66-year-old man is dead and 3 teens are hurt following a shooting last night in Frankfurt. It happened just before 9:30 on the 4600 block of Mulberry Street. The man who died has been identified as Ivan Hall from Philadelphia. 3 15-year-old boys are in stable condition after being shot. Police have not given any more details on what may have led to the gunfire. As of yet, no arrests have been made.
Rumors would also circulate throughout the city of Philadelphia, pegging Noah as the trigger man in the deadly shooting, which had taken a teen's face off with a switch. After the carnage, a female teen on the scene can be heard giving a descriptive visual of what she was actually seeing.
Family, friends, and loved ones of Imhotep student Damon Taylor are honoring his life today. They gathered outside of the school for a balloon release.
This comes just 2 days after Taylor was killed at a SEPTA bus stop. CBS News Philadelphia's Ray Strickland spoke to his family about the shooting.
He was my only.
17-year-old Damian Taylor's uncle barely spoke, but the tears he shed for his nephew said it all. The emotions sum up his family's heartache after the sudden death of who they described was an energetic and loving teen.
It's rough. It's rough for his mother, his dad, his uncles, and for all of us. This is hard.
Taylor's cousin says he was a junior student at Imhotep Charter School in Philadelphia. Dozens of people who knew and loved him came together Wednesday for a balloon release to honor his life.
He loved people. It was the people that the school loved him. The school even loved that to show to say what type of person this young man was. He wasn't just on anybody in the street.
Taylor was shot and killed Monday at a SEPTA bus stop in the city's Ogons neighborhood. Several other people were injured, including 2 other students. Police say Taylor was targeted in the shooting, but his family says that was not the case.
Every black person get killed, somebody targeted. You know, so no.
Things happen and people say, oh, he was a great kid. He was a great kid. Jokester, laugh.
The 17-year-old also grew up playing youth football and baseball. His coach voiced his frustration with the issue of gun violence that continues to take too many lives in the city.
So my question to the city is, what are we going to do? Like, we keep talking about crime prevention, but what are we doing?
2 short months after Noah had been shot, Devin Spady, a.k.a. YNG Cheese, the son of Gillie the Kid, would be slain. The shooting happened just before 8:30 p.m. in the 5800 block of Masher Street, Thursday, June the 20th, in the Olney section of Philadelphia. According to police, Devin was shot in the back as he ran from the scene but collapsed a block away. Devin was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Here's where it gets even crazier. Rumors were spread like wildfire throughout the streets of Philly that it was Noah who was also responsible for the death of Cheese. Let's fast forward to current day and time. The blood-soaked streets of Philly are still being overrun by gang violence. Just like a breaking headline on the front page of the Chicago Tribune, a shocking tale would unfold in the city of Philadelphia. On Tuesday, January the 14th of 2025, Noah Scurry, 17 years old at the time, was shot multiple times in an alley behind his house on the 500 block of Roar Street around 7:15 a.m. on the way to school with his mother. The Philadelphia Fire Department transported Noah to Jefferson Einstein Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 7:37 a.m.
Fox over Philadelphia's Feltonville neighborhood today. Earlier, a teenager was shot and killed steps from his home. This is the 5000 block of Roar Street, about 8 this morning, and we're learning the 17-year-old was on his way to school. All after-school sports and activities have been canceled tonight at Samuel Fells High School, where the student was a senior. The teenager was with his mother at the time. And Kelly, what else are you learning from this tragedy?
Well, Jason, police and school officials are identifying the 17-year-old tonight as Noah Scurry. He's described here at the high school as a great student and athlete. His family understandably was not ready to talk today. Police say they do believe he was targeted, but have not said why.
I just saw him yesterday too. It's crazy to think about.
Sophomore Muhammad Al-Faqi leaves a solemn day of school at Samuel Fells High School. All after-school activities canceled today and men's basketball games canceled this week due to the killing of a teammate and senior, identified by police and district officials as 17-year-old Noah Scurry.
It's a horrible day. This is something that no one imagined. The student, according to police, was getting in the car on his way to school behind his house with his mom. So this is something that is quite unimaginable.
Police say it all happened in an alleyway behind Roar Street, just off Roosevelt Boulevard, around 7 this morning. At least 20 shots fired in what they believe was a targeted attack. There was a backpack left in the middle of the crime scene, surrounded by shell casings and tires of nearby parked cars blown out. A letter sent home to parents from the school principal said Scurry scored the highest among the Fells community on the SAT tests.
The student who was killed was exceptional. No problems from him whatsoever, according to the principal and other staff members. As you might imagine, they are distraught.
Scurry's mom surrounded by loved ones today, including the basketball coach and other staff from the high school. Grief counselors were also on site and will be as needed, according to district officials. Students say they could feel the impact all day.
When you saw him around, you knew he brought good energy to everybody.
Whenever he entered a room, the room always lit. You know, it was always a smile on somebody's face when they were around them. He had a whole future ahead of him, too. It's scary to think about.
Now, again, police say this is an active and ongoing investigation. The district saying tonight they are committed to working with police, elected officials, and others on the urgent need to tackle gun violence in the city. Jason.
Kelly Rule, thank you very much.
The shooting happened just days after Noah had earned player of the game in a losing effort to Plymouth Whitemarsh, a rival school in the district. Officers arrived to find Noah had suffered multiple gunshot wounds across his body. NBC Philadelphia reported that the 17-year-old Noah Scurry had been shot dozens of times. Authorities would later recover a white Jeep Grand Cherokee that matched the description of a vehicle seen at the scene. However, no weapons were ever found. The tip of the iceberg would be a rap video which was posted to social media that displayed Noah and others brandishing firearms throughout the entire video. To further cement the rumors of Noah's involvement in the death of Cheese, subliminal messages posted to the Instagram account of Gillie the Kid's nephew would be blown into question.